Welcome in, Hardwood fans. We're out here at Trimble High School, and it's time for episode 2. On the boys' side of the court, we have new standings, and on the girls' side of the court, we have new faces. Plus, there was a lot of TVC action Friday night that we have to talk about. All that and more tonight, but it's time to check up. Episode 2 of Hardwood Heroes starts right now. For some highlights and analysis, but we all know what we start out with, standings. There was a big slate of conference games this past week, so we gotta find out how they affected them. First up, let's take a look at the girls' side of the Hawking. Now the top 3 stays unchanged. Waterford is still the queens of the Hawking. Eastern is just behind them, and Belpre is at 3rd, but keep an eye on the Golden Eagles because they dropped 2 conference games this past week. Now we got a newcomer at 4 as Federal Hawking swapped spots with Wahama, and South Gallia moved up a spot, and Trimble did as well after their upset of Belpre on Thursday. Now the Southern is still at the bottom of the race, coming in at 9th. Now on to the Ohio. There's no question who the top dogs are. Benton County still undefeated after a wild victory against an Alexander team whose only losses of the year are to the Vikings. Now there was a little movement in the middle of the pack. MEIGS and Nelsonville York flipped at 3 and 4, but after that things stay the same as Athens come in at 6th and River Valley 7th. Now on to the boys. Nothing different from last week in the order, but take a look at the top 2. Athens is just a tiebreaker ahead of Alexander after winning in a head-to-head matchup. Things also remain tight at 3 through 5 as they're separated by just a game and a half. And in the boys' half of the Hawking, South Gallia makes the jump past Waterford to land at number 2 and are just a half game behind Trimble for the top spot. The Wildcats are still close behind at 3 as Belpre, Eastern, and Southern complete the top 6. Now something to keep an eye on. Spots 3 through 6 are separated by just 1.5 games. And to tip things off, we're headed to Nelsonville, York, where lead reporter J.L. Curvin has the 4-1-1 on the Buckeyes.
Paul, do you know why I get paid the big bucks?
We don't pay you, J.L.
Boy, hush. Y'all know y'all should pay me because I know what I'm talking about. Last week I said NY could shock some people, and that's exactly what they did. The Lady Buckeyes bounced back, and at the time of this recording are undefeated on the week. They started on the hot foot Monday by handling Lancaster, and then Thursday picked up a big-time 56-46 win over MEIGS.
Nelsonville York took down MEIGS. Now that's a pretty solid win.
Now, is that shock I hear in your voice, Paul? It's okay. I was a little bit stunned too, but not because of the win, but because how good the Lady Buckeyes looked during it. NY avenged its early season loss to the Lady Marauders by playing tough defense and operating a balanced offense with precision. Freshman guard Mackenzie Hurd showed why she's one of the best freshmen in the TVC, and Mary Kate McCullough was sensational.
Sensational.
Sensational. The senior had 21 points in the win and got buckets in a number of ways. Off the ball, from 3. She even showed off her handles a little bit. I hope T and Jacob took a hard look at her for Hero of the Week, because she was the truth. Her, Hurd, and the rest of the Lady Buckeyes could certainly be some problems in the coming weeks.
Yeah, now it sounds like the Lady Buckeyes are on the rise, but what's going on with the boys?
Man, it's been rough. They're down. 3-game losing streak. But you got to get down before you get up. And the Nelsonville York boys basketball team is certainly up right now. They only played once this week, but in their one appearance, they won a tough back-and-forth game Friday against Wellston, 55-51.
You know, it sounds like happy days are here again.
And NY fans are singing songs of cheer again, but it wasn't easy. It took a combined effort from Justy Perry, Mikey Seal, Bryce Richards, Ethan Boyer, and the rest of the Buckeye squad to pull out the win.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a good night to be in Nelsonville jail, but what does a win like that do for a team?
It does wonders. Coach Jamie Justice told me how much fun it's been with this group of guys. He's building a loose culture in Nelsonville, and the team's down for the culture shock. He feels like it could be the squad to start something special in Nelsonville.
You know, it was a good week to be a Nelsonville York fan, real solid JL, and you know, here I got a fun buck for you, just for you, buddy.
You're hilarious, Paul.
Twitter, what is it good for? You know, well, I'll tell you. Follow @Hardwood Heroes, and we will keep you up to date with scores and information all season long. Plus, send us a tweet, and it could be featured on the show next week. Now, basketball in Waterford has been thriving as of late. Reporter Ryan Kincaid is in the paint now to tell us if Waterford's teams are still on top.
Paul, the girls took care of business against Southern 53-12 on Monday. The boys, however, they took a tumble Friday night in Gloucester. The Wildcats traveled to Trimble with the hopes of securing first place in the Hawking, but try as they might, Waterford could not sink shots against a strong Tomcat defense, even though they led the attempt chart. Waterford, they tried to find looks outside, but they were unsuccessful in developing a three-point game plan. And in addition, they didn't get many second chance points against Trimble's defense, which led to a multitude of turnovers in the paint.
You know, clearly they couldn't get going on offense, but how'd their defense do?
Paul, Waterford played physical defense. Trimble was forced to be patient with their shots in the face of a full press defense that got in their face and recorded a total of 12 steals. Ultimately, time was the killer of this defense in the second half, as a 7-0 run from Trimble in the third quarter all but sealed the game. And with this loss, the Wildcats dropped to third place, and the Tomcats move up all alone in first. But the title race isn't over yet. The Wildcats started at homestand against Fairfield Union and Southern, and the Lady Wildcats face South Gallia.
Yeah, no, they're definitely still in the hunt. Thanks for the great work, Ryan. Well, you got the Waterford perspective, but what about the other side? Taylor Jedrzejek joins me to break down the Tomcats' win over the Wildcats.
Well, here we are in late January, and Trimble has staked their claim in the Hocking, but this week was just another test for the Tomcats.
Well, did they pass?
Paul, it wasn't looking good. Coming off a 14-point loss last Friday to Eastern, they started their week with a 10-point home loss to Belpre.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they had some things to figure out, Jed.
Well, Paul, assistant coach Jeff Coons told me after the game that they refocused in the days prior to the Waterford game. He said that the team needed to get back to doing what they did to win their first 7 games this season.
Yeah, I think we can all agree the Tomcats are better than what they're showing.
Coach Coons said that they had to get back to doing the dirty work, playing like they wanted to win every single night.
Well, it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to follow through on the court.
Well, Paul, they certainly walked the walk on Friday. Along with holding Waterford to 36 points, the Tomcat D held the Wildcats to a dismal 32% from the field. Tomcats pounced on them from the jump, forcing bad shots all game long. And while Trimble didn't have a stellar offensive night themselves, they scratched and clawed for all of their 45 points, with Blake Guffey and Braden Weber leading the way with 12 and 13-point performances respectively. Tomcats also got Cam Kittle back for the Waterford game, much earlier than they thought, and he was immediate spark in orchestrating the offense like he had never even left.
Yeah, no, definitely getting a veteran ball handler back is big, but what about the girls? I heard they had a great week.
Paul, they did. The Lady Tomcats started their week with their biggest win of the season, a 52-28 rout of Wahama. They followed that up on Thursday with a 63-52 road win over Belpre, avenging their double overtime loss against the Golden Eagles in early December.
Oh yeah, I remember that one, Taylor. We were there, and it was a wild finish.
Paul, a wild finish would be an understatement. Now, looking ahead, the Lady Tomcats face off with Nelsonville York after the time of this recording and start next week with a trip to Miller on Tuesday.
And after a big week like that, it's hard to imagine this team is just a year removed from canceling their last season. I went out to Gloucester to learn about the quick turnaround.
It's been almost a year to the day since the Trimble Lady Tomcats canceled their season. A short bench and numerous injuries forced the team to have to fold just 9 games into the season.
Folding the team it's a little embarrassing, and I think it's a knock on the head coach a little bit, and stuff like that. So I took it to heart.
The lone returning player from that team is senior SKYLAR Moore, who remembers when she heard about the decision.
I was kind of upset about it, and I think everyone was. Everyone thought it was very disappointing.
So how was Trimble able to field a team this year? 8 freshman players.
So I knew last year our 8th grade team was pretty good. And I knew once we folded the team, I went down and kind of helped my brother Jay down there the rest of the year. I was pretty confident we were going to have a team this year.
I was looking forward to this year because I knew that we were having a bunch of freshmen come up and play with us, and I knew that it'd be a better season than it has before. I didn't really know any of the freshmen coming into this year, but I've made really good friendships with them.
One of the new faces is freshman center Jane Six. She doesn't see her team as just some bunch of freshmen.
Honestly, this team is just so close, and we have known each other for a really long time, and it just really was nothing that ever worried me or crossed my mind. We're all friends at school. We all have a lot of classes together. That just creates a really great bond that also helps us on the court.
While outsiders may see youth as an obstacle in the way of team success, Coach Richards doesn't use it as an excuse.
I think we're getting better every day. If we come to play with our best basketball, we're going to be in the game, and then we'll see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Certainly have a bright future ahead of them, and we're excited to watch them grow. Now, if you like that and you want to watch it again, then head on over to our YouTube page. That story will be posted on there, and we will also be posting all game recaps throughout the week as well. We don't want you guys to miss a beat during the week, so please check it out. And since the beginning of the year, both federal Hocking squads have seemed like new teams. Reporter Will Collins joins me on desk to tell us how both the boys and the girls have changed their games.
Paul, since the start of 2019, both teams have risen to the occasion and started to win some games. Let me tell you, Paul, the girls from Stewart are on a tear lately. They have won 3 games in a row and outscored their last 3 opponents 170-92. In their lone game of the week, they traveled to South Gallia and took down the Lady Rebels 58-39 behind strong play from Paige Tolson and Brianna Baker in the paint.
Now, the girls are starting to get in a groove. What has been the key to their success?
Paul, it's the play of their defense. The Lady Lancers have been playing consistent, hard-nosed defense, and they aren't afraid to make plays when they need to. Another key is the play of Brianna Baker off of the bench. After their win on Monday, I was able to talk to Coach Jeremy Tolson about Baker's impact.
She stepped up tonight, to be honest with you. They were running that 1-3-1. We were trying to get the ball opposite corner, and our guards were doing a good job penetrating and hitting her, and she was getting some nice shots underneath. And she did battle on the boards. I don't know how many rebounds she had, but she had a nice game.
Yeah, so the girls have been on a bit of a hot streak as of late, but how are the boys faring?
Well, the boys split a pair of games this week, falling to Miller 71-60 on Thursday, bouncing back for a 59-57 OT thriller where they knocked off the Eastern Eagles on Friday. Starting with Tuesday, the Lancers took on the Falcons at home, and in the game, the Lancers weren't able to outlast the 11 three-pointers the Falcons hit and 37 points by Colby Bartley. Despite closing the gap late, the Lancers were able to, the Falcons were able to pull away from the Lancers, excuse me.
Yeah, nobody likes to lose, Will, but were there any positives that Federal Hocking could take away from this loss to the Falcons?
Absolutely. Center Brad Russell scored 30 points for the Lancers, added 5 rebounds and 3 steals as well. Russell took control of the game for Federal Hocking, scoring half of their points, but it wasn't enough for a win.
All right. Now let's get to the big one. I heard Fed Hawk and Eastern had a big rematch.
Indeed they did, Paul. This game ended up an OT thriller. Throughout most of the 4 quarters, Fed Hawk had the lead, but Eastern closed on them, taking a 46-43 lead with seconds left in the 4th quarter. Lancer Quentin Basom took the ball with 1.6 seconds left, hitting the game-tying 3, sending the game into overtime. The majority of the overtime period, the teams traded scores, but none other than Quentin Basom would end up hitting the game-winning bucket. Coming up this week, the girls have a big matchup with Nelsonville York this week, and the boys travel to Wahama. Both squads will finish their week with matchups against the Waterford Wildcats.
Yeah, Will, thanks for the great work and keeping us up to speed on Federal Hocking. And after a big victory against Trimble last week, Eastern just wasn't quite able to replicate the magic. Brandon Monty is here to help break it down.
Paul, it's simple. 2 heartbreaking losses, both on the road, by 2 points each to teams that were below them in the conference. Eastern just could not catch a break.
Yeah, early on against Fed Hawk, the Eagles struggled to get things going. But how was Federal Hocking able to set the tone early and gain an edge?
From the tip-off to the end of the second half, the Eagles seemed like they lacked a true sense of urgency that is needed in conference road games. Coach David Kite was getting on his team's case in the team huddles, saying that they needed to stop flopping and play aggressive basketball. He also mentioned that they had to stand their ground and that they could not continue to get pushed around. Judging by their halftime deficit, I'd say they didn't come out with enough energy.
Oh, well, you know, Coach Kite's known for being pretty animated, but did his halftime speech work?
Well, knowing Coach Kite, I bet it was pretty interesting, but it certainly motivated the Eagles, Paul. The green and white outscored the Lancers 24-16 in the second half, led by the dynamic big man duo of Garrett Behringer and Isaiah Fish. The two combined for 34 points and also combined for 18 rebounds. Despite a double-double from Fish, it wasn't quite enough.
Now, how did things shape out in overtime?
Well, just like the 4th quarter, it was an intense duel, but the Lancers were once again able to get the upper hand. Truly, I believe the intensity of the Lancer crowd was the difference in such an evenly matched game.
All right, now for the Lady Eagles, how did this week affect their chances in the Hocking?
Well, coming into the week, the Eagles were just a game back of conference-leading Waterford, but they weren't able to gain any separation. They took down Belpre 34-29 Monday night, but a crucial loss to Wahama Thursday could be the deciding factor in the TVC-HOCKING.
All right, Brandon, you've talked a lot about their defense this season and how dominant has it been, but Thursday looked like a rather uncharacteristic night for the Lady Eagles.
Yes, it was. Thursday night against the Lady White Falcons, Eastern surrendered 64 points in an 18-point loss. They allowed just 37 points in their first matchup back on December 6th, but things went far differently in West Virginia. It was their largest point total allowed this season and the first time they allowed more than 40 points in the new year.
All right, now last week you mentioned Eastern had a big game against Belpre this week and they squeaked that one out. But things don't look like they'll get much easier from here.
They definitely will not. Every game is must win from here, Paul. It starts on Monday as Eastern will look to get their swagger back in a crosstown rivalry against MEIGS. Eastern is a game and a half out in the Hocking. They're going to need to win out from here, and they're also going to need some help from their Hawking counterparts.
Yeah, no, we definitely know it won't be easy to beat Waterford, but we always know anything can happen. Thanks, Brandon. Now, both the Alexander boys and girls schedule this week was filled with a pair of conference matchups. I'm welcomed now on set by Alexander reporter Anthony Marino, to tell us how those games panned out.
Yeah, Paul, the race for first place Ohio is so tight that it's crunch time for both the girls and the boys. Let's start off with the boys, who this past Tuesday hosted the Vinton County Vikings in a TVC Ohio showdown. The first half showed implications that this was going to be a close game like the last meeting, but that soon changed after halftime. Alexander went on a 27-7 run that lasted the majority of the third quarter. This would lead the Spartans to a 72-42 win.
So who was the big baller for Alexander?
Well, Paul, the whole team contributed to this crucial win, but one player's performance stood out. That player was Caleb Terry. He dominated the paint, scoring 21 points and grabbing 9 rebounds. When they have him dominating in the paint, this is a hard offense to stop.
You know, the Spartans met another conference rival on Friday as they traveled to MEIGS, but did they take care of business in Pomeroy?
Well, Paul, the Marauders came out strong, taking the lead in halftime 32 to 24. Alexander came out of the halftime playing lights out defense, only allowing 2 points in the third quarter and coming out with a 54-41 win. Terry made his presence known once again, recording 6 blocks on the night, and Dylan Mecca led scoring for the Spartans with 16.
Now, let's quickly switch over to the girls, who on this past Thursday had an opportunity to join Vinton County at the top of the Ohio.
Yeah, on Monday they rolled past River Valley 72 to 42, to snag another TVC Ohio win. They're hoping to carry that momentum into the most important game of the season. Now, this matchup was our game of the week, but I would say it was a contender for game of the year. Once I stepped in the gym, I could feel the energy and the importance of this game. It came down to the final moments, with Alexander having the possession with just 7.5 seconds left, down only 1. The inbounds pass was thrown deep to McKenna Rice, but she lost control of the ball, giving Vinton County the 54-53 win. Lady Spartans played 4 quarters of outstanding basketball. But Paul, with the Lady Vikings being so dominant, it's going to be difficult for the Lady Spartans to win the TVC Ohio. But head coach Jeff Grinstead said they have higher goals than that. He said we wanted to try to make a run in the tournament.
You know, it's definitely a tall order, but if any team can do it, it's the Lady Spartans.
Yeah, myself and the whole Alexander community is excited to see how this girls team finish out the season and how they perform in the postseason. And Paul, it's always a pleasure being on desk with you.
Now, we all love giving you coverage of your favorite teams, and we want to go all out. We don't just have video recaps, we have written ones too. Get on your computer and head to woub.org/heroes, and there you can read up on all your favorite teams. And for Vinton County this week really showed what each team is made of. Tyler CORBIT joins me now in the paint to break down the week.
Yeah, you could call this week a gauntlet for both teams. But one team came out unscathed this week, and that was the Lady Vikings. So we're going to take a look at the engine that makes this team tick. Now, when a team is full of offensive weapons, defenses can get distracted. And here, we're going to see that against Wheelersburg. Now, Morgan Bentley's on the ball. Double down screens. Everyone's expecting the ball to go to Tegan Bartow. 4 defenders are forced her way. That leaves the entire paint wide open. Cutting backdoor slightly off screen is Cameron Zinn. Bentley's going to drop a beautiful dime. For the easiest 2 points, Zinn will probably score. And that's an easy one for the Vikings. Chalk it up for 2. But like I said, this team also thrives on defense by creating chaos. Here we're going to see that with freshman sensation Tegan Bartow. So here she's going to create the turnover. And then Lacey Williams grabs the ball. She's got 2 options. She can go to Bartow or she can simply drop it back to Cameron Zinn. But rather, slightly off screen is Josie Ousley. Josie's a junior. She's a 3-year starter, and she knows that this team needs to push the ball forward. So she finds Ousley. Ousley gets it back to the hot hand. That is Tegan Bartow. She Euro steps past her defender, gets fouled. Once again, easy 2 points to the Vikings. They just really aren't having problems scoring this year.
So we know, Tyler, offense sells tickets. But what wins games?
Defense. Defense is what wins ball games, and defense is why they took down Alexander Thursday night. And we're going to watch the play that won them the game, which is an example of how great this Vinton County defense is. So Jada Mace has the ball. She goes deep for Kenna Rice. She catches the ball, but that's not a problem because immediately right here you see 3 Viking defenders right around Rice. 2 more are getting in the backcourt, really just shutting down any passing lane. Therefore, they're forcing a lot of pressure. She's not going to have a lot of options. An error is forced, and the Vikings pull out the win because they don't even allow a final shot to win the game.
Now, transitioning over to the boys, they took on the TVC's top teams, Athens and Alexander. How'd it go?
Well, it was challenging, but at the same time, rewarding. First, the Vikings traveled to the hardest venue south of the Lancaster-Dixon line to play, the Alley in Alexander. Alex came out hot. Gavin Arbaugh tried to will the Vikings back to win in the first half, but without big man Eli Griffith, it's going to be tough. Now, Alex took over in the second half, easily taking down the Vikings 72-44.
Now, it's a pretty tough start to the week. How did they rebound?
In the biggest way possible.
How big?
Taking down TVC Ohio leading Athens big. This was a game of two different halves. Half one, all Gavin Arbaugh. The junior had 18 points in the first half, and the Vikings were up 11 going into the locker room.
Yeah, now did the Vikings pull away in this one?
No, actually the Bulldogs brought it back and with their stingy defense. But at the end of the game, that's where things got really interesting. Braden Markins, he just throws up a prayer right here, and it is answered. Athens ties the game. And then on the ensuing inbounds pass, Vinton County turns it over. So Logan Maxwell has a chance to win, misses it. Everyone thinks the game's going to overtime. No, Justin Hines is called for an off-the-ball foul. Austin Height goes to the line, sinks the free throw with no time left. Vinton County pulls out a 45-44 win.
Wow, just a wild finish and really a week in general for VC.
For sure. And you stay golden, Paul.
Thanks. Now, Lil Uzi Vert once sang, "I ain't got no Snapchat, homie." But fortunately for you all, we do. So go check our Snapchat at Hardwood Heroes, and we will have both game content and behind-the-scenes looks. Plus, send us something, and it could end up on the show. Now, in the Ohio, Athens has continued to dominate the competition, sitting atop the standings. Athens reporter Joey Medora joins us to talk about the Bulldogs.
Paul, ever since Athens joined the TVC Ohio, they and Vinton County are the only two teams to win the conference. The Bulldogs had an opportunity to sweep the Vikings on the season series for the first time since 2014.
Now, sounds like a big clash between two of our most dominant teams.
These two teams have been controlling the conference for over a decade now. It's always an electric atmosphere when these two teams get together, and Friday night was no exception.
So what actually went down in MacArthur Friday?
You could tell this game meant a lot to everyone involved. Vinton County started off with a double-digit lead at the half, but despite not having senior guard Elijah Williams, the Bulldogs battled back to win the game, and it came down to the final seconds with the Vikings hitting a free throw to take the victory. This was another instant classic between these two teams that we have gotten used to in recent memory.
You never know what you're going to get. I mean, the one thing you do know, you're going to get a good ball game. I mean, it's a fun atmosphere. I enjoy playing a Coach Combs team. You know, he always has them ready to go, and you know, he's pretty animated, and so am I. So it's kind of fun for the people to watch.
All right, so the Lady Bulldogs, now they've had some success as of late.
Yeah, they were able to string together 5 wins in a row to get back to 500 at 7-7.
Now, most recently, they took on Logan last Thursday night. Who do you think stood out?
Well, one thing's for sure, Laura Mandrick was dynamic from behind the arc. She dropped triple after triple and finished the night 6 for 7 from deep with 19 points.
With production like that from one of your key players, you'd expect to come out with a W.
For sure, but Athens struggled with the turnover bug all night long, and it cost them in the end. Logan was very disciplined with their half-court trap, and this seemed to stifle the Lady Bulldogs all night and forced them to be a little bit careless with the rock. Athens fell behind early and couldn't dig themselves out of the hole and ultimately fell to Logan 58-44. Now, I spoke with Coach Seth Matheny after the game, and he said you learn something new from every game, and there's definitely little things that they can take to try and improve on this before they play Morgan Monday night. So it looks like the Lady Bulldogs are going to keep grinding out on into next week.
Yeah, it's a long week. That's pretty much all they can do. Thanks for the great work, Joey. Now, the MEIGS Marauders are sitting around 500 on the year. The girls lost the top-ranked Vikings earlier this week and then lost to Nelsonville York. Joseph Hennessy joins me on desk. And, Joe, what's going on with the Lady Marauders?
Well, it's pretty easy to see here that they have hit a bit of a cold streak. The Vinton County game was physical under the basket. MEIGS was out-rebound 43-20. It's tough for MEIGS, too, because they were looking forward to this game against the top dogs. When talking to head coach Jared Kaysen last week, he mentioned that this was a big game for his team. They were able to push the pace. Mallory Hawley had a great all-around game, showing signs of what's to come at MEIGS, and Cassie BETZING led the way with 14 points, going 12 of 14 from the free throw line, but it just was not their night.
And they did struggle against the Lady Buckeyes.
Yeah, it was a rivalry game, though, so they didn't just roll over. They were still keeping up the pace, but it was physical, chippy, gritty, tough, really any synonym you want to use. Cassie BETZING started to heat up at the beginning of the second half, finishing with 23 points and 4 rebounds, but Nelsonville just ran away with it at home. Holly ended with only 9, but was all over the glass, bringing in 12 boards, and Marissa Noble added 14 points. They are 9-6 on the year, so it's not a bad season, but I understand the frustration of losing these type of hyped-up TVC games.
Yeah, no, let's hope they can figure things out because that team has some real good players in maroon and gold. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the boys are struggling as the season progresses, but the potential is still there, though, right?
Yeah, they 40-piece the Wellston Rockets. Cooper Darce broke out with 16 points. Weston Bear and Coulter Cleveland followed up with 13.
Yeah, but Friday was a long night for these Marauders.
It was, but it started off really great, though. The atmosphere was insane. This was a physical matchup, and to be honest, I loved it. The crowd was lit. MEIGS had a full student section. There was blood on the court, a technical foul, even some cheerleading battles. Talk about some Friday night TVC basketball. In the first half, Bear went off for 19 points, and the ball movement on the offensive side was quick, and they were getting good open shots that led to the half. But the second half, completely different story. The Spartans went on a 8-0 run to start the second half, and Caleb Terry blocked everything inside.
Well, then Alexander just pulled away?
Yeah, they would run away with it 55-41, but the Marauders didn't give up, and I think that shows the bond that these guys have. Bear ended with 21 points. MEIGS only had 7 turnovers as a team, but shooting 32% from the field wasn't enough. But I will say that this was the most exciting, intense game I've been to since I started covering MEIGS.
Yeah, but you know what they say about Palmer, right, Joe?
It's always popping.
Thanks, Joe. Hardwood fans, we saved the best for last. I want to lob it back in the paint to our online hosts Jacob Murray and T. Willis to reveal our Heroes of the Week.
The weeks progress, the competition gets tougher, and Jacob, so does our job.
Exactly, T. With all these talented players in our coverage, it's just so hard to pick the 2 best.
It wasn't the easiest task, but I've got my pick locked in. Coming straight out of the Hawking, I'm kicking things off with the Lady Lancers, Paige Tolson. The Lady Lancers started off this season 2-8, but they've been cooking with some gas lately. At the time of this recording, Federal Hawking is 5-8, and Tuesday night against South Gallia, Tolson powered Fed Hawk to their 3rd straight victory. Now I have a hunch she may have listened to some Alicia Keys before this game, because this girl was on fire. She led the team in scoring with 19 points and was a force on defense with 5 of the Lady Lancers' 11 steals.
It looks like this girl can play. How does she impact the game when she's on the court?
Well, Tolson's energy is unmatched. She's often the smallest on the floor, but she makes her presence felt. What Tolson doesn't have in size, she makes up for in skill and hustle. She's not afraid to get physical, and on defense, she is an absolute pest. I mentioned her 5 steals against South Gallia, and she was able to turn those into some easy buckets for her squad. If she and the Lady Lancers keep the momentum, they can have a really good chance at making some noise in the Hawking.
Now, this is something we rarely see happen in our coverage, with both of our heroes coming from the same school, as Federal Hawking's Brad Russell is our boys' Hero of the Week. Russell helped his team to get their 3rd win of the season this past Friday, averaging 20 points on the week. He positions his body well to get easy attempts, even using mid-range shots to space the defense. His size down low for the Lancers helps him block shots, and even when he doesn't connect on a swat, his long reach helps to keep opponents from taking easy shots. Even in their loss earlier in the week to Miller, Russell still looked very impressive. He scored 30 points and got 3 steals to help his team on both ends of the court.
So his game seems impressive, but what other intangibles make him our player of the week?
Paul, this guy is a leader for this team, both as a team captain and with his play. He is a tenacious defender, and this kind of ferocity helps fire up his team to make plays. This junior big man will not quit on any given night, even though the team has struggled all year, and that is something you just can't teach a player. And look, Paul, these teams are not close to the top of the standings, but these kind of players will keep you competitive in any game.
Yeah, guys, both coming from Federal Hawking, that's clearly something stewing out in Stewart. Thanks for the great work, guys. Now, the greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James, once said, you have to accept failure to get better. So if your squad didn't have the best week, that's okay. Just remember, they could still turn it around in the coming weeks. Now, I am your host, Paul Roth, signing off, and always reminding you to be heroic.